Good afternoon, Senator Gumataotao.
Hey Troy, half a day, and hope you're doing good.
Your
voice sounds better.
My hoarse voice.
No, I was watching the other night, and you sounded terrible. But I'm going to say that you sound much better today.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Senator. Thank you. I'm glad I sound better for this interview. Right out the bat,
Sure.
What is your understanding of the housing problems facing our people, especially the poor and the middle class?
It's significant. I think that we have family and friends who are struggling, and when we think about where they would be laying their head at night, some are renting, some are not, but we have others that we know about who might not be so fortunate. My office is right here in Agana, and on a daily basis I see over 1,000 people, not 1,000, but a couple hundred people who are homeless. They're here right next to my office, see them, and they're just trying to do their thing. They don't have the luxury of these types of a place to put their head. It's serious. Hence, I think that we have to do something to address the housing concerns at all levels. We have to do something.
I'll get to that something, which appears to be from you and your Republican colleagues,
Sure.
A concerted effort to address the housing issue, because it's not just your bill, it's also other bills, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll talk about that in just a second, but first, can I ask about your bill, the most
Yes.
recent one, and what exactly does it do?
So let me just go backwards a bit. I had a chance to meet with the Guam Association of Realtors. I was working with them to get support for the rollback of the BPT.
Okay.
And they came to my office prepared because they said, hey, listen, we have these bills we think that we should bring to the attention of the legislature. One was the ADU bill, which just passed in this last legislature.
You voted for that?
I absolutely did.
Okay.
And the bill that I introduced a couple of days ago. And again, this gives a chance for those, Troy, who would have a chance to maybe rent their place out as an apartment or a condo or a house. It's, with the rising prices and availability kind of, waning, I felt, and with the input of the GAR, this is a great opportunity. They can get an inspector. Let's say out of the blue, it's like, hey, my kids are gone from my condo. I just need help financially. Let me just do this, go through a process. It's very temporary. And it's part of just to get it started so that they can do the full process over a course of a year.
So is this, my understanding then is that without this bill, there is a regulatory process that a homeowner would have to go through in order
Absolutely.
to make the property available for rent. So this sort of gives them 1 year to get through that.
Right.
If they want to pursue this beyond the year.
Yes.
And otherwise, they just have to meet certain criteria. Do you know what the criteria is?
So when you think about this, it's only a license temporarily to do this type of business. Obviously, this is focused towards folks who might say, hey, listen, I have a home that can be able to have a GURA tenant. Maybe it's on the other end where, like, listen, I have there's a military family that might want to move into my home. It's maybe close to one of the two bases. It gives them a chance to use, if this comes to pass, then you'll find people who would go through my house is for rent, get people in. They'll have 12 months to get everything done, as long as their house has a certified inspector that is set in the statute. Thanks to the Guam Association of Realtors for helping us with this. But when they do, they have 12 months, or otherwise you can follow the process today. But that takes a lot of time, and some people get turned off by the process. It's just too much red tape.
Where do you get that inspector? What's that process?
Again, this will probably be coming through either advice from realtors, from the Guam Association of Realtors, Public Works. Once it's in play, then people can go out and seek them out. I think there's like 6 of them on Guam today that can assist. And I think that's what we're trying to do is, with the economy and the way it is, why not find a way for folks who might think, hey, I have a place, maybe they could stay there. Now we have, guess what, revenues into the government in terms of business activity, and there might be a long-term benefit. Now, if they don't finish everything, right, they lose their temporary license, and we'll have to go and start and finish that process. That would take the normal run of its own course, right?
But at least it's a year.
Yeah, they'll have 1 year to do.
Did the Realtors Association give you any indication how many homes might be open to something like this?
I think that their estimate is this is hundreds.
Hundreds, okay.
Think about this for a moment, right? Many people, and many even I've seen on the Kandit social media side, saying, "Oh, this is about their friends, just trying to help a friend or whatever." Well, the Guam Association of Realtors itself this is not about their buddy realtors. These are just Joe Schmo, our friends or family who might have a place that they would like to try to do this. They're not a fancy realtor type of company. They're just a person that, hey, listen, I have a place. I want to try to make a little extra money. The economy is pretty bad right now. How can I do that? And they're contributing, right, to the housing problem that we face. So it's just a chance for them to get in. And again, it's very temporary. It's just it helps the housing side for sure, but this temporary process, it gets people in faster versus slower.
Is there a theory here that if let's say 200 homes become available for this, is there a theory that that putting that many out into the market at one time will lower rent prices?
It might. I think that when you think about the demand for Section 8 housing, I'm not guru, right? I don't have those answers. I don't have that waiting list. But these are chances for them to for these maybe these building or maybe apartment owners or homeowners can go reach out, and then GURA can do the same. It's going to help that community for sure. And then on the military housing market, this comes at a whim. I have 4 adult age kids, and so it's a chance for them. Let's say they leave. Yeah, I know. They're much older, Troy. They're college graduates now, but they're older. And the thing is, okay, so they're gone now. I have a space available. Why wouldn't I try to give a chance for someone else to stay in my place? I don't have anyone there now, and maybe it's a chance for a person to say, hey, I want to do that, and maybe make some money, and the government gets those revenues back.
I wanted to ask you that because the bill doesn't say this exactly.
Sure.
What if I have a 4-bedroom home, me and my boyfriend, we're only using one, and we have these 3 extra rooms. What if we say, we'd like to rent out 1 room? Does your bill allow that to happen?
I think we have to look into it, and maybe we can work that out through the markup process. Okay. But it does, that's a great point. Or maybe it's a duplex or something that might not be your extension. Yeah. It might be an extension.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it might be an extension. So I think it's important for us to maybe look at all the options, right? But remember, it's a temporary license. It still has to be habitable. It still have to comply with certain rules, right? I mean, this is not like, okay, we have this new law, then all the rules go away.
Okay, so then the last thing I wanted to ask you about this, and thank you for addressing that part. Maybe that's something that happens in the markup process,
maybe,
right?
Yeah.
So in last night's live show, I talked a bit about your bill, and one of the things I did was really praise Republicans for the last 4 months of bill introduction. You guys seem to be on this path to prioritize the economic needs of the poor and the lower and upper middle class. And it isn't just your affordable, this is just one affordable housing bill that you guys have. You have Senator Dueñas's affordable housing, his ADU that passed. I believe right. There is the sewage treatment bill that he has. Mm-hmm. I don't know if the GICC bill has been reintroduced in this legislature, but there is this.
Not quite yet.
Not yet. There's this affordable housing push. There's also the tax breaks. There's also the Medicaid tax cut bill. Do you guys meet? Do you Republican senators meet, and do you say, like, these are the priorities and this is what we're going to stick with? Tell me what's going on in the thought process of the Republican caucus and why these things are so important to you guys.
I think we've all been listening to this community, and in all of the times I've met with either of those agencies that are my oversight, and they're doing the same, and it's a consistent theme that I'm hearing from my colleagues, especially the new senators, is that, man, we're engaging and we're listening, And what you're seeing in front of you now today, Troy, is that example of that. It's listening, it's going at the true priorities of this community. I can only speak for myself. I mean, I'm just listening.
How are you guys listening? I feel like
Listening,
you guys are
it's
looking at the
listening and
comment
responding,
section of
yeah.
Kandit, because the things you're introducing are things that many of our readers and viewers have been talking about for years.
Yeah, and I think that you can be a regular viewer of Kandit, and you can definitely see where people are struggling. It doesn't take that much. This Republican majority, we talk very regularly. We've had our caucuses, talk about our strategy on going into the session, talking about how we'll behave too. I'm not gonna lie, it's how we behave, but it's how we're responding to the people that are coming to our office, how we're responding to what we read in the newspaper. It's about those priorities. Those are more important, Troy, than the other vanity projects that might have been coming down the pipe over the last 3 years. You mentioned the last three legislatures. We are listening. We are trying to do the work that the people elected us to do, and it's been humbling because we're hearing really bad stories. We're also seeing firsthand businesses close. We're seeing the struggle, but then we're also seeing on the government side the inability of the government to really do its best. It's been a struggle. You've seen the oversight hearings. You've seen the hearings relative to some of these measures, and from experience, these are not. This is not good. We need to make it. We all got to do a better job of doing our jobs. And I'm just trying to bring, Troy, all of my experience to this. I'm not a rookie per se. I might be a freshman senator, but I've seen the issues, and I think I understand it pretty well.
Senator Gumataotao, thank you so much
Thank
for
you,
your
Troy.
time. God bless you.
Okay.